Hello my disciples, Father Andrew here. Today I'm going to be talking about something I've made in a rather unscripted manner. If there's any stupidness going on behind the scenes, I'm going to have to trim that out. But anyway, getting right into it, I've made this little effigy of Amelia out of chicken bones, snail shells, wooden, I don't know what they are. They're used for stirring coffee, and black wool for the hair. And today I'm going to be talking about how I actually did this, like the actual process involved with building this. Starting with the base material, we have whitened chicken bones. Let's take a look here. Let's grab a few of these as an example. Some of these I've actually had to cut to make the legs. Okay, we've got femurs. These were used to make the torso and the arm. These, I'm not sure what bone they're from. They are a leg bone, but I had to cut them to make the legs. And the wings, these are made from the radius and ulnar bones of the chicken's wing. These bottom ones, these tip ones, I actually had to trim the ends off to make them fit at the angle I wanted them to. But regarding how I actually processed these bones, first I had to eat the meat, then I had to actually scrub the meat that was left off them. And once that was done, they were completely bare, and I just had to soak them in some hydrogen peroxide. About 12% food grade. You can get it on you can get it on eBay, Amazon, various websites that sell chemicals. Yeah, that's all there really was to getting them ready. But when it came to actually producing the legs, I think I've already mentioned I had to cut them with a pair of scissors to get them to shape. I think I already mentioned that said pair of scissors being right there. And anyway, when it comes to the actual shell for the head and for the breasts, I just found those in a garden. Just looked around, found some snail shells that were the right size and glued them on. But anyway, the hardest part of making this was actually the hair, which was surprisingly difficult to do. The hair actually took a few attempts. The first few ended up sticking to me and going wrong. And that's because I tried to make the hair separately from the head, and then tried to attach the hair as one big thing. But I realised that my method of going about it was wrong, because I was trying to put the whole thing on at once. So what I decided to do was I took the wool string that I was using, unthreaded it to get it apart, stretched it out to the length I wanted, pulled it down, cut it to length, made a bunch of them, laid them over the head in multiple angles, glued them. And once I had them a base for what I was working on, I just kept applying more and more strands until I got the hair that was in the shape I wanted, and then I cut it to the kind of length I wanted. Now, to talk about the little support at the back, which is made of coffee stirrer sticks. The top of it actually goes into a groove that existed between the two femurs. You can kind of see the wood protruding between the two of them. Don't want to get too close, otherwise the camera will get out of focus again. But after I put that in, this little base bit at the bottom, that did not exist. It was just a flat cut, but it wasn't strong or stable enough to actually keep it supported. So I had to double reinforce the sides, put that little plate on the bottom, but even that wasn't enough, so I had to put these two protruding sticks that give it a bit more surface area, because unfortunately, the bones I use for the feet are rather round at the bottom. I was tempted to sand them to make them flat, but then you'd get bone dust everywhere, and that would be a problem. So with that mostly concludes this, except for the fact that there's something else I actually need to show you, and that is these bones from a chicken's leg. I'm not sure what this particular bone is, but my plan is to add these to the tips of the wings in some way to finish them. I'm not sure if it actually needs them. I feel like they would definitely be a nice detail to add the third digit to the limb, because Trolongans canonically have that, and I feel like it would also be better to add hands and feet. But unfortunately, my bone crafting skill is not that high. I would add them. I would add fingers and toes. I would add hands and feet, but yeah, I just need to find small enough bones to do that. And yeah, with that concludes this video, but before I go, I'm gonna bring this a little closer so you can get a better look. Just going to showcase this a little more before I leave. And I think that's just about done it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just gave you a good look at what I've made. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, share and subscribe. See you around.